Coming up on the Rainier Report, artillery soldiers compete for section bragging rights. Engineers get valuable training on new equipment. And soldiers hit the red carpet for an exclusive premiere. Hello, and welcome to this edition of the Rainier Report. I'm Sergeant Nate Bowen. For the past 70 years, the Expert Infantry Badge has been a symbol of U.S. infantrymen's superior capabilities and commitment to excellence. Sergeant Brian Spradlin shows us how 3rd Stryker Brigade infantrymen are putting their skills to the test to earn the badge.
All right, you can begin.
More than 800 soldiers set out to earn the EIB during a week of testing on Joint Base Lewis-McChord. They took on more than 30 tasks and lanes, including calling for indirect fire,
Right, 160.
using hand grenades, and moving under fire. The soldiers had to race against time and rush from task to task, adding stress and exhaustion to an already difficult ordeal.
Yeah, that was pretty challenging as a smoker. A lot of sprinting and running and pretty tired. So coming up to a task and a weapon and trying to, go through the sequence correctly while you're tired is a bit more stressful.
At the end of the week of testing, the remaining soldiers had one obstacle left between them and the badge.
Good luck.
A 12-mile road march.
Hurry up!
3 hours later, it was all over. Tired but triumphant, the infantrymen earned their badges and had them pinned to their chests by senior leaders, friends, and family.
I felt good, but also it shows I knew what I was doing before, but now I have the evidence that, hey, I've done it, and I can now actually help guide other guys, kind of mentor them, hey, this is what I did when I went through.
Of the hundreds that started the testing, only 159 earned the right to wear the EIB and be called,
At this time, your overall go.
in the words of the soldier's creed, an expert and a professional.
10 days of competition earned some artillery soldiers the right to call themselves the best sections in their batteries. Staff Sergeant Nydia Cruz has more.
Sections of the 1st Battalion 377th Field Artillery Regiment competed against each other to become the best howitzer section.
Sight! Come on! Sight!
The competition consisted of artillery skills as a 13 Bravo, including written exams and common gun knowledge.
You train every day, so it depends on your section and how well they grasp the knowledge. But you can take new guys straight out of basic training and you can certify and qualify with the best.
Section leaders may set the tempo for high morale and successful training, but in the end, the soldiers' positive way of thinking is what really matters.
I'd like to believe that our team has an advantage. We have a lot of motivation and dedication in our section. We're very well trained.
After 2 weeks of grueling competition, Alpha Battery Fire Directing Center, or FDC, took Best FDC in the battalion, while Staff Sergeant Trotter's section and Charlie Battery took Howitzer Best Section. For the Rainier Report, I'm Sergeant Nydia Cruz.
Army G1 Lieutenant General Howard Bromberg held a roundtable discussion with some of JBLM's top leaders. General Bromberg spoke to leaders about administrative policy changes, emerging policies, G1 priorities for the Army drawdown, and impacts of the budget. One of the things he emphasized was that funding cuts won't affect military education opportunities.
We're still funding all the PME courses. We're going to fund those. We're going to fund advanced civil schooling. We're going to move people from professional development assignments. We're going to continue with ALC. We're going to continue with Warrior Leader course. We're not going to stop those things because what we don't want to do is break leadership and leadership training, because no matter what happens, 2 years from now we could be some other contingency. And if we're drawn down, we've got to be able to lead our way back to do what we need to do. And if we got to get through this drawdown right without breaking the force, we got to be able to lead through it. So leadership is still key.
He also said JBLM's approach to the Ready and Resilient program is right on. One JBLM engineer unit got valuable training time on some new equipment. Sergeant Brett Perkins tells us how these machines will enhance the effectiveness of the unit downrange.
The 22nd Engineer Clearance Company conducted training in high-mobility engineer excavators. This training helped to ensure that drivers who hadn't used these machines before were well-versed in their use.
They just got 4 brand new Hemi 1s to the unit, and we're trying to get used to the equipment and figure out how they operate correctly.
While these machines have been fielded by the Army for several years, this marks the first use by the 22nd Engineers at Joint Base Lewis-McChord. These vehicles will help not only with route clearance, but also with building obstacles and other defenses. For the Rainier Report, I'm Army Sergeant Brett Perkins.
Coming up, future soldiers take a road trip to visit JBLM.
Incoming transmission.
2, 1.
The new Provider Resilience app gives healthcare providers the tools to guard against burnout and compassion fatigue as they help service members, veterans, and their families. Get your resilience rating by doing a short self-assessment right on your mobile device. See a clock showing time since your last vacation, value cards, even Dilbert comics. Visit t2health.org/apps to learn more.
Roger that.
Welcome back. New Army recruits visited JBLM to talk with soldiers and see some of the equipment they use to do their jobs. Specialist Heath Graham has more.
What is this for? Future soldiers from Portland, Oregon got a small taste of how EOD troops operate and had hands-on demonstration. The group of high school students were brought to JBLM by their recruiters and were able to talk with soldiers about their expectations and what they hope to gain from the trip.
Just more experience, honestly. Learning about EOD. Maybe I want to be EOD down the road, like in 2 years. Like, just knowing what Army life is going to be like what I can look forward to every day. Like, it's exciting.
A passion for good music and great friendship led a group of soldiers from the 56th Army Band to start a group of their own.
We always really like to play.
Yeah, the Buckshot Brass Band here is really a unique. It kind of originated from like a New Orleans second line type party parade band. Because of the versatility of the players in the band, they bring a lot of different aspects to that style, and they've kind of created their own genre of music.
We have so many really good musicians in this band, and it was a no-brainer. We had to bring it here, and so that's what we did. I knew the community would like it. I knew the soldiers would like it. I knew everyone would like what we're doing, so we just had to bring it here.
And so to be in a group with people that are focused and have the same drive and the same passion, and they really enjoy what they're doing as well, I consider it a privilege.
No, we enjoy hanging out with each other. We enjoy making good music, and it's just what it is.
You can't necessarily talk while you're playing to somebody else, so a glance or a head nod or like any type of body language to cue off of where you're trying to go or where you're going.
So there's Sergeant Salas, Carlos, he'll throw something in the bass line, and we'll just like, oh, okay, yeah, so we're going this way. And so it's really amazing to be up there with these types of individuals and be playing that type of music. And we're just playing it as one group, and it's really fun.
Every now and then, you're into the gig and something really good happens, and you see the audiences, their face light up and smile. And that's really what you look for, and that makes the night worth it.
But in the music, in the moment, it's okay to have the personality that you have for the moment, for the music.
I'm never standing in one spot. I'm always bobbing to the music.
We're having fun with what we're doing, and that's no matter if it gets bigger or smaller, whatever. As long as we're having fun and playing for audiences that enjoy what we're doing, I'm comfortable with that.
That's the main goal, is to really help others with what you're naturally able to do.
JBLM rolled out the red carpet for soldiers to see a premiere like only the stars would. Threw in a live video chat with the cast of the movie, and these soldiers were in for the VIP treatment. The crowd was lined up around Cary Theater for the premiere of Iron Man 3, showing at JBLM simultaneously with the movie's premiere in Los Angeles. APHIS and Marvel Studios teamed up to bring the movie here, complete with a red carpet and photographers snapping pics of the excited soldiers, airmen, and family members attending the event. Inside the theater, Skype had a live feed coming from the actual red carpet in LA, and some lucky service members were getting the opportunity to speak with the stars of the movie.
Scream for them. All right, guys, let's show them how the U.S. military does it, all right?
Yeah! Sir Ben Kingsley, Don Cheadle, and Gwyneth Paltrow all stopped by to say a few words. Even Iron Man himself, Robert Downey Jr., took time to check up on the troops. As for the movie itself, the response was pretty definitive.
I mean, everything just worked out. I mean, my wife cheered the whole way through the movie. She doesn't do that in movies.
Best way possible to wrap up the trilogy.
Awesome! That does it for this edition of the Rainier Report. For these stories and more, visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/5thMPAT. I'm Sergeant Nate Bowen. Thanks for watching.